All right, today we are going to walk through the exact real-world process for an on-page SEO audit. This isn't just theory, okay? This is a practical framework that actually moves the needle on your rankings. You know, if you've ever been stuck on page 5 or 6 of Google, you probably think you're missing some kind of complex backlink strategy. But honestly, after looking at countless sites, the real issue, it's almost always something way more fundamental. And here it is, their on-page SEO is just broken. The signals they're sending to Google about what their content is about are scrambled or weak or sometimes just plain wrong. But hey, the good news, this is something you have 100% control over. So let's just forget about those endless 100-point checklists you find online. This is the streamlined, super focused process that I use to get results for my actual clients. We're cutting out all the noise and focusing only on what really impacts rankings. Okay, our first step, it is the most critical one, search intent. And honestly, if we get this part wrong, everything else we do today is a complete waste of time. Seriously. So what exactly is search intent? Well, it's just the why behind a search. Are they trying to learn something? Are they looking to buy something? Or are they trying to find a specific website? Just think of it as the compass for all your SEO efforts. And this is the very first question we have to ask. If someone searches for, say, best running shoes, are they looking for a blog post reviewing 10 different shoes? Or are they looking for a product page where they can just buy them? You have to figure out what the user actually wants to see. And here's the crucial point. You have to give Google what it thinks its users want. So if all the top results are video reviews and you've only written a text-based guide, you're fighting a losing battle right from the start. A mismatch in intent, it's a guaranteed way to fail. All right, so once you've nailed search intent and your page starts popping up in the search results, you've won half the battle. So what's the next challenge? Well, it's getting people to actually click on your link. Your title tag, that's your one and only shot to grab a searcher's attention. I mean, a weak title, even if you're on page 1, might as well be on page 10 if nobody's clicking on it. I just love how simple this checklist is. Just look at your title and ask these 3 questions. Does it promise a solution to a problem? Does it make someone curious? And here's the real test. Open an incognito window, search your keyword, and be brutally honest. Is your title the most compelling one on that page? So they've clicked our link. Awesome. Now what? Well, now we have to deliver a great on-page experience. And that means making the content really easy to consume and making sure it's comprehensive enough to be genuinely helpful. And this really illustrates the difference perfectly. Over on the left, you've got what we call thin content. It's just stuffed with keywords, it's repetitive, it's impossible to scan. But on the right, that's what Google and real users love. A clear structure with headings and content that genuinely solves the problem, not just repeats a bunch of phrases. So here's the ultimate test for your content's depth. After someone reads your page, do they have to go back to Google to find more information? If the answer is yes, your content just isn't deep enough. You haven't fully solved their problem. Now, here's a really powerful and often overlooked way to add depth and context to your content. And that's by connecting your pages to each other. Doing internal linking right does 2 crucial things. First, it helps Google understand the structure of your site and which pages are important. And second, it guides your users to other relevant content, which keeps them on your site longer. It's a win-win. And the process is pretty straightforward. First, you find related articles on your own site. Then, you'd link from those articles using descriptive anchor text. That's the actual clickable text. So instead of click here, use something specific like our complete guide to on-page SEO. This just creates a really clear path for both the search engines and for your readers. Okay, now for the final and maybe the most important step. It's time to stop guessing about what's working and what isn't, and instead let the data guide our optimizations. Your best friend for this is Google Search Console. It's a free tool from Google that gives you direct insight into how your site is performing. We're not working off assumptions anymore. We're using real performance data. Take a look at this. This shows a classic problem. So the page is getting a ton of impressions, over 5,000, which means Google is showing it to people. But the click-through rate, the CTR, is less than 1%. That tells me immediately that the title tag just isn't compelling enough. And boom, that's my first optimization target. So these are your treasure maps right here. You want to look for keywords that are getting lots of eyeballs but very few clicks. That's a title problem. And then look for pages that used to perform well but are now slipping. They probably just need a content refresh to bring them back up to date. And that's the process. From intent and titles to content and data, it's not about ticking 100 boxes on some checklist. It's about focusing on the key areas that actually deliver results. So the final question I'll leave you with is this. After seeing this process, do you think your on-page SEO might be the one thing that's preventing you from ranking where you want to be? Well, now you have the blueprint to